I am of the impression that there are too many meta tier lists. Okay, we get 20 like annual tier lists from people that will tell you like, oh, this frame is best for all this content, or this frame is good at this specific content, and that's why it's in this tier list. There aren't nearly enough tier lists that are solely based on the subjective opinion of how cool does this person think the frame is. Okay. And that's literally all this tier list will be. So if we're vibing, you're going to love this tier list. If we're not vibing, you're going to hate this. Or if you're looking for like meta picks, come on, man. There's probably 20 other videos for this year specifically about that. Just to give some background, I played a lot of Warframe in 2015 and 2016, like a lot. And then, some life stuff happened, and I didn't touch the game again until 2024. And I've been having a lot of fun, man. I really do think that the game is on the right track. They've done some good things. Some things still could be improved. There's some buggy stuff that irks me, I guess, but like genuinely, probably one of the best free-to-play games to ever exist. You know what I mean? They've done it right. Mastery rank, as far as I don't even remember what my mastery rank is right now, but like it's not 30, and I'm going to tell you why. I hit 16 or 15, either one of those, and I just stopped caring about my mastery rank for a very long time. It's only up until recently that I've been like, okay, I guess I'll build these trash can weapons so that I can get mastery rank levels. And I'm still not a huge fan of that. I really don't personally care about mastery rank. The main thing that started to get me to pump it up was to get more trades. But now I'll probably try to get it to 30. I'm just kind of, some days it's like, I don't really want to use this handful of weapons that's too rash just so I can, have that little mastery rank number go up by 1 and I can get one more trade for the day and some mod slots. But, there's benefits to getting to 30. I just play a different play style. There's some people that rush to 30 as fast as they can. It's not really like a skill system. It's more like how willing are you to just build trash and farm trash in order to get to 30 quickly? Because you can only go up by 1 rank. You only go up once a day. So, it's going to take you at least 30 days. But anyways, Ash, S tier. He's literally the space ninja. I feel like I don't even really need to debate it. Got the shuriken, can turn invisible, can teleport, has like little minions kind of, but with his 4. But I mean, just genuinely space ninja. That's kind of where we're sitting at. If this now we're setting a precedent. What do I mean by cool? Is it you can press his 1 and a room is instantly cleared? No, it's like it is purely a subjective thing. And also, the other day I saw somebody that did a fashion frame of Ash Prime as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and you could change the colors to match any Ninja Turtle. And the idea of me and 3 friends, well, none of my friends play Warframe anymore, but me and 3 friends just running around as the Ninja Turtles as Ash. Just genuinely, how can he not be S tier? That being said, Atlas Prime, or just Atlas. I don't have regular Atlas because I heard his farm is annoying, but I do have Atlas Prime. And the first time I hopped into that sanctuary to leech and level up my Warframe to 30, I pressed 1, didn't teleport, but slid and basically uppercutted somebody. And it was regular sanctuary onslaught. So it insta-killed that enemy. The moment I did that, I was like, oh, this is I don't care what any of the other abilities are. This is an S tier Warframe in terms of coolness. These ads are insane, by the way. There's so many ads on this website, but it doesn't matter. I instantly knew that he was S tier. Banshee is B. While we're at it, I want to add this real quick. Let's add a row below, and let's say not enough experience. Nope, we can't do that. I don't care about the color. I don't know why I'm even doing this, but not enough experience. These are going to be. I've played every Warframe, but some I definitely haven't played enough to really warrant. Or it's been like mainly on Steel Path or something like, or not Steel Path, but Circuit. That being said, there are some that I've played on Circuit a good amount, so I can still put them in A. I actually think I'm one piece away from Barack Obama Prime. And my regular Barack Obama, I have all the pieces for, but some of the resources to build it, I look at what I need to do in order to get those resources, and I go, not today. I did the same thing with Zaku for a long time, but I eventually decided that Zaku was so cool that I need to just do what I need to do to get them built. I think Zaku's a they. But Barack Obama, just been kind of chilling. I will say the reason it's above Banshee, Banshee I don't hate, but I just don't really feel excited to play her. And the cool levels it's just not there. But Baruch Obama, man, I'll tell you what, dude, I'll hop in Steel Path Circuit and just press 4, build up that meter, press 4, and then just send people flying for fun. The fact that you would just send minor mobs flying all over the place, just manhandling them, is already inherently cool. I think he could be S tier, but I think like the fact that I haven't fully unlocked him, which means I can't mod him, I have to use the default mods, kind of puts him in A, because he doesn't really have the ability to like go that extra mile to be like, okay, not only is he flinging people across the map, but he's also like actually kicking their ass and they're dying. So we'll get there. Caliban's not enough experience. I played him a few times in the circuit on both Steel Path and regular, and I don't know. We'll see. He might be one of those modded type deals where once I put mods, it's a little better, but like the farm for him is, so I just haven't touched it. Chroma sucks. I don't know what to tell you, man. The problem with Chroma is it's a huge letdown because you hear Dragon Warframe and you think, oh, sick, but Chroma's ugly as shit. And back in the day, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if this is still a thing, but I think you could like change the energy color. And any Modern Warfare players are going to be yelling at me like, he doesn't know the meta, he doesn't know absolutely every passive of every. But like, I feel there was a period where you could change his energy and it would change his status, like what status damage he dealt. And I think they've changed it since. I think because of the tap to hold system or whatever, tap versus hold. But yeah, kind of. And I don't know. I think he's another frame that I'm one piece away of finishing the Prime for. But the regular version, I don't know. It's kind of an ugly, not very cool frame. Ember's A. Ember could be S if she still had World on Fire. I realize that technically now she's better, but back in the day, man, that 2015, 2016 era, right before I took that very long break, I remember watching an Ember just run through the map like it was nothing, and I thought that was sick, dude. I don't feel the same thing with Titania. Nowadays, it's funny because they nerfed Ember because just pressing 4 and then running through the map and killing everything was a problem for new players. But now I feel like Titania does that even faster. Even Gauss does that faster than Ember ever did, I feel like. I remember back in the day, like I was watching and being like, oh my God, it's so cool how fast you kill things. But I at least get like a handful of kills as a new player. I'm seeing Mastery ranks 6 or 7 players trying to run relics. They're getting like 0 kills. Now, for relics, you want to farm those as fast as possible, so maybe they don't care, but it's funny to see the Titania at the very end of the map killing like 200 enemies and then being at extraction in like a minute, and meanwhile the Mastery rank 6 or 7 players still taking like a full 5 minutes to get through the map. Equinox, B. Mid-tier. I know there's like augments. Apparently the augment mods are necessary to make, Equinox fun and good. Me personally, I stayed in one form, and that's the form that increased damage for allies and caused slash procs or whatever. I haven't played them enough recently. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very boring. Don't even want to talk about it too much because Excalibur's next, and Excalibur's S tier. And it's not even really debatable, honestly, because, just by definition, it's like the face of Warframe, Excalibur, he's the face of Warframe. He's dope. Right next to, Mag and Volt now, obviously. But, I mean, for a lot of people, this was their first. And he's still sick, man. He's got the Ash Prime. Or Ash, not Ash Prime, but just Ash vibes in general. He can't turn invisible. But he do be having them ninja vibes. And that is, and in the same way that Atlas and Baruch be punching, they do be having them ninja vibes. So anyways, Frost is D. And that's because Frost is boring and sucks. It doesn't suck. I mean, like, really good at defense, but in such a boring way. There's other defense Warframes now that are fun to play. And Frost is still... And lately, and I'm going to be honest with you, I just now built regular Frost. I had a Frost Prime back in, like, 2015. I never built regular Frost. It is insanely easy to build regular Frost. Like, I got the pieces, like, over the course of, like, 30 minutes or something. Probably even less. Just doing the regular farm. And I just never wanted to build Frost. It was probably less than 30 minutes, honestly, because it was taking like a minute or two to run that fight just because the delay of like the downtime in between like the phases. But Equinox was way more annoying to farm, but Equinox is higher, and that farm had multiple very annoying stages and I did it. The Equinox has twice as many parts as any other frame. At least the regular version does. The Prime is different, but Frost. And these new Frost players, man, I don't know what's going on, man. They have this globe, and it's like, oh, we're playing a defense mission. The Frost is for sure just going to throw it on the globe. They throw it like slightly off of the globe, so the globe can still get it, or the whatever we're defending can still get attacked, whether it's an excavator or whatever. They don't put it on there, and they also put it in places where it's like annoying to me. Like I can't shoot into it or through it, but I can shoot from the inside out. And if there's stuff in it, I don't know, man. They're just placing weird stuff today, and I don't know. Frost is boring to me. Gara is we're gonna put that not enough experience because genuinely, and I can't even think of. I probably only played Gara like twice, and it's another one of those Warframes where the farm has really sucked. Garuda we're gonna also put there. There's not gonna be too many and not enough experience, but there are some where it's just like, we'll see, maybe. Eventually we'll get there and then we can decide. Goss is obviously S tier. Goss is fast. He can't be knocked down. His 4 just makes him run faster, shoot faster, reload faster. And his 3 is getting subsumed onto Titania's so that they can run through maps and ruin the experience for new players. And that, his reach is wild. Goss and Goss Prime. And the cool thing about Goss Prime is every single one of his parts sells for at least like a good amount of platinum because there's always people wanting him. So if you can just get sets of him, which are really easy to do, Grendel, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry. Hey, I know that there's people who are like, Grendel's trash. It can turn into a ball. You can go very fast, collect decrees in Steel Circuit, or just the regular circuit, doesn't matter. If it's a regular circuit, you can just run into enemies and kill them instantly. But collect a bunch of decrees, go into ball mode, and just hamster ball it around the entire map. It is caveman brain fun for me. I know there's people like, well, you know what? There's people that subsume Nourish and stuff onto other Warframes. So technically, give credit where credit's due. At least he has an ability that a lot of people like. They don't care about the ball the same way I do. This is Gaia, right? Shocky electric balls. We're gonna need more experience, man. Enough experience to say at least here, but not enough to put. It's one of those where it's like, I think I just need to get a good build in order. We're in the process of finishing up ours, but we'll see. Harrow is inherently kind of cool. Haven't played enough to really put him in the S tier. It's kind of like Baruch. One of the most infamous farms in the entire game to get this frame, but you can't deny the cool levels. Hildren's kind of dope, man. Not this design. The way the original Hildren looks is like, what the... But Hildren Prime looks so dope. And genuinely just a big, just jacked mommy. You know what I'm saying? Just tearing things up. Hydroid. Hydroid gets A solely because of that one specific skin that makes him look like a pirate. I know that he's not really in a good place right now, I guess. And he's getting changes potentially. But have you seen the pirate skin? That's all I'll say about that. Anaros is here. Anaros has the potential to be so cool. Like, here's the thing. Pocket Sand almost inherently makes him S tier because Pocket Sand is hilarious to me. Throwing sand in people's faces as an ability and then just, like, mercy killing them, very funny. But, like, all of his other abilities are just so boring, He can turn into a very, very, very slow-moving tornado that does no damage. His 4, he builds up like a scarab shield. He can also launch like a percentage of it at people. And I forget what his other ability even is. So, here, he's getting reworked soon, though. So I'm going to put him here because I've seen some of the stuff about the rework, and I think he could move up from that. Avara's kind of cool, man. Not cool enough to be like S tier because she can turn invisible in the same way that Ashe can, but like not move as quickly. But it's just like, it's the ninja bow hunter. You know what I mean? That kind of puts her there. Could potentially be yes. I don't have Avara Prime. Maybe if I get Avara Prime, I'll feel differently. coughing a lot. I should have gotten a drink before this. Korra is cool as shit. You have a big BDSM torture ball, and you whip the ball. You just whip people, whip your teammates. Who cares? Just you have a whip, man. That's cool inherently, and better. You know, like Hydroid has an augment that makes farming for certain like resources easier, but it's just cooler than Hydroid is. Although with the pirate skin, you know, the pirate skin is so dope that it's crazy how much power that has. Lavos, not enough experience. I played him once in my life. He's not hard to get either. So I think I just need to build him. He's really just, I know how Father and Deimos has all his parts. I haven't really looked into the resources, but I imagine it's a bunch of minerals that I need to mine to use for a blueprint to make it into an even more powerful mineral or whatever. That's the way a lot of these open world ones are. I know a lot of people hate Lavos, or he's just kind of, they just say he kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Limbo, I genuinely want to put in D because it feels like it's been a lot. Like sometimes I play with a Limbo and it's like, oh my God, this is an S tier frame. Me playing Limbo, it's here because my experience, like I understand the basics of the Rift, but not enough to put him up here or here. Sometimes I'll play with like some really amazing Limbos that be up here. Most of the Limbos I play with are here because you don't understand how the amount of times I've seen Limbo players shooting at players while within the Rift, not doing any damage and not understanding how their own Rift works, or the amount of times I've there's some Limbos I play with where I'm constantly having to dodge just to get out of the Rift because they're casting it on people they don't remember, and the amount of times where I'm playing where like you can't even tell that an enemy is in the Rift or out of the Rift because like the cell shadedness isn't popping up, but I don't know. That could just be me being blind. Loki is S tier, kind of in the same way that Ashe is S tier. Turns invisible, has a decoy that's, with certain mods, is like impossible to kill and can completely turn AI into morons. You can place his decoy like under a bridge and they'll sit there and stare at the bridge like, I know he's down there, but they won't do anything. And then that's a free kill. And that in and of itself is funny to me. None of his abilities do damage, which is what makes putting him in S so funny, because I used to think that made him suck. But after some experimentation with his decoy and watching like how hilariously bad the AI can get, very rewarding. If they ever fix the AI in this game, Loki's no longer going to be fun for me. Mag is S tier. I mean, genuinely super cool, man. I mean, just a great starter. I kind of think all of the starters are S tier, which is why they're starters. You know, I wouldn't be mad about starting with Volt. I wouldn't be mad about starting with Mag. I wouldn't be mad about starting with Excalibur. They're just cool by default. Wow, we're decking out this S tier with Mesa, the gunslinger. Are you serious? This is the aimbot frame, bro. It's inherently, and I like the OG Mesa, but Mesa Prime also looks insanely dope. Looks like a cowboy. And some people like the OG one because it looks more like a ragged gunslinger. I like both, genuinely. I think they're both great. Mirage is here for me. Obviously there's parts of her kit that are super OP and powerful. Actually, I'll move her up solely because her 4 is cool. It's powerful-ish. It's cool. There's people are gonna. What about her 3? You get more power in the light. Don't. It's just straight staff, like stat buffs. Boring. Floaty disco ball that shoots lasers. That's enough for an A for me. Necros is S tier solely because of Desecrate. He's like inherently the frame that I go to if I need some annoying resource. I just press 3. I kill things. They drop more things than they normally drop. That's Necros, baby. I don't even think I have regular Necros. I only have Necros Prime. Neja is A, mainly because I like the story of Neja and everything, and I think the frame is pretty fun. Every time I play, I have to readjust to the fact that he do be sliding everywhere. It is insane how much he slides all over the place. But once you get used to it, he's so fast, man. And it can be very fun. I actually have all the pieces to Neja Prime right now, and I think I just need Nightane. But there's a really weird spot on my Nightwave to get the Nightane, okay? Nightane used to be different back when I used to play, okay? You only get it from alert. So, it took me a while to be like, Nightwave? What the hell is Nightwave? Nidus is S. One of the first Warframes where it's like all of his abilities synchronize. Like the synergy there is phenomenal. I mean, like he's just I don't know, man. He's just super cool. And as he like levels up, but like his passive, he just starts to pull apart and look like some insane monster. Very cool. I look forward to finishing my Nidus Prime. Somehow I farmed. Apparently, Nidus's farm is really annoying, but I did it way back in the day, so maybe I just didn't care. Nova. A. I do find, blowing things up to be pretty fun. I feel like, man, I don't know, man. Sometimes you get those really good chains of just blowing things up. By the way, these are all assuming no subsumed abilities. This is the base Warframe. Obviously, I could be like, oh, but if I switch this ability with that makes her... No. This has to do with their core cool levels. That's probably, honestly, probably move it down here. But Nyx is kind of... I don't know, man. It's funny to make things run very fast. It's really hard to do that nowadays, though, because if you're playing with randoms, especially if you're playing a defense mission, a lot of the times there's just a wisp who's just slowing everything down half of the time. And I don't know if that works together. I don't think I've seen... It's hard to know because nobody plays Nyx anymore. I wonder if Nyx... If you speed everything up... Does... What can Wisp completely just slow that down to a crawl? Probably, right? I don't like playing with Wisp on defense missions. They always throw down those shock things, and it makes the waves last way longer. But anyways, Oberon is here, man. Oberon is just not... No, Oberon's up. There's potentially cool things about his kit. He's just not super... There's good? I don't know. Oh, he can heal. Oh, very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oberon, I'm trying to think of his abilities. You obviously have the slam. That's his ult. You have the grass. You have smite. What is the last ability? I can't even think of it right now. It's the heal. You heal your teammates. It's like a drain. Boring. His 4 could be cool, but then it would just be a damage move. He's supposed to be a support character. I don't know. I wonder if they'll do anything with him because I never see anyone playing him because he's just not interesting enough. There's other characters that do better things. Octavia's cool as shit. You can make your own songs. You can walk around and annoy people with quick little songs you've made. And that inherently puts her in S, along with Protea, who I recently decided... I thought the farm was going to be super annoying for her. It wasn't. In classic Warframe fashion, I got the 2 easy parts on the easier sections first immediately. And then the final piece that's on the hardest part of the mission, the hardest Granum Void, it took me like 50 runs to get that final piece. Now, even then, it's not really hard. You can just hop into the Granum Void as Mesa and then, kill everything and, have Azorus, whatever. You get the idea. It really wasn't annoying to farm her, but man, playing with her and modding her, oh my God. She's just broken. She's broken. She's really, there's so much cool stuff about her kit. Because normally, like with other Warframe, it's like your 1 builds up your shield. But with her, it's like your 1, you can get a shield buff, but also, if you tap 1, you throw down these little shrapnel bits that slash up enemies. You know what I'm saying? Her 2 is little guns that pop up above you and shoot at people and deal huge amounts of damage and they have tons of range and all that. Her 3 basically supplies you with whatever. Her 4 is kind of useless, but inherently just kind of this is what I'm saying. Yeah, Frost is good at defense, but Protea is good at defense in a way that gets things killed, and boosts you up. So, it's just... what's worse, walking into Frost's little snow globe and being a little chilly, or getting slashed up to bits and then getting gunned down by artillery in the sky? Yeah, I'm thinking Protea's cooler. Revenant's kind of cool, man. But honestly, it feels like most of the time when I'm playing with a Revenant, they just press 4, right? They press 4 and they spin around. Like maybe new players, they're like, I saw somebody do this and it killed everything on the map, so now they do the same thing. That is not super fun to me. I know that he's super hard to kill. He's inherently cool because of this old badass Revenant, look. I have both Revenant and Revenant Prime. The mission, honestly, I don't want to put him in S tier because the mission to get Revenant glitched out on me many, many times where I'd kill the Spectre, but the mission wouldn't move on, or I'd have a part of the next piece and it wouldn't pop up. And tons of people complain about glitches with this quest, but here we are. Rhino is S tier, baby. Rhino is cool, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, with his base abilities, he's super hard to kill. He's just a badass tank, man. In just every way. That's life. Saren Prime. Why I keep saying Prime because I have the primes of like some. I have a Rhino Prime too, but Saren S tier. Because it's so funny that you can just kind of start off as like a very small. It's she's the COVID of this game. Starts off very small, but now everyone's affected. It's just kind of funny how quickly things can snowball with her. And she's kind of like an OG. She's been around for a while. Sevagoth is a not enough experience. I've literally only played Sevagoth on the mission. And that you only play as a shadow. So I've never played actual Sevagoth before. I see him in the circuit and I never pick him. I think that's mainly because I've heard people talk about how he's not very interesting. They just steal gloom from him. I should play him because, obviously that doesn't matter as much to me. Like if I'm going to do some late game content stuff, of course I'm going to pick some like meta frame so I can actually do it easily. But like also there's some that are just cool to do random things with. The song that plays when you're playing as his shadow is not my vibe. And that's going to make some people mad. But that kind of puts, if the song was cooler and from my perspective, I'd honestly put him in A. There's people that like the song, but Stynax is S. I don't really want to argue it. Stynax is one of my top 3 favorite Warframes of all time. He's just so cool, man. I'm sorry, man. Energy for days. You can pin people to walls. The intrepid stand with the spears flying from the. He's just dope. I don't switch out any abilities with him because I just love everything about him. I wish we could actually get an augment for his one where you could kick people. You could kick. It would still pin them to the wall, but instead of throwing a spear, you would kick them. And you could only use it at close range, but you just kick the shit out of him. It'd be like 300. That would make him S plus tier. He'd be the only one up in S plus tier. Titania's cool, man. I talk a lot of trash about Titania because I think it's funny that like Ember got nerfed into the ground because it made things bad for new players. But I played with these Titanias have not only made things bad for new players, but there was a period where they were hopping into like Lith relics, which is like the lowest level of gameplay. Or at least in relics, they were hopping through and they were running through the map so fast and killing enemies before they could spawn enough reactant. They would get to the end, we'd have like 3 reactant. The Titania would have like 3 reactant, and then they would basically fly through the map. Nothing would spawn again, and then they would just rage quit. Now that doesn't happen all the time, but it's happened enough at those like lower level relics that I've been like, come on, bruh, and that's not fun. Trinity is trash. There's other support characters that do things that she does, but better. I also hate the way regular Trinity looks. Trinity Prime kind of looks sick. Regular Trinity, I think, kind of sucks. This looks like Warframes kind of look like futuristic robot people. This just looks like a person in a suit. Valkyr's kind of cool, man. Valkyr Prime specifically. There's something cool about pressing forward, not being able to die, and just running at people like a monkey. That's a gameplay loop that just it produces the good chemicals in my brain. You know what I'm saying? And that inherently is cool. Good feel good chemicals. That's cool. Balban is kind of here. I will say I do find it very funny when I'm playing in the circuit and I play with a Vauban because they're basically just like sucking up enemies. And they'll like glitch out and they'll suck up enemies that get stuck under the map and stuff like that. That's very entertaining to watch. But other than that, not very crazy. Volt is obviously going to be S tier up here with the 3 starters. Inherently, they're just cool, man. They're just cool. Foruna is A, and I have a feeling that she is going to be S tier when I actually unlock her fully because, dear God, every time I play her, I think she's a lot of fun. Even in the circuit when I don't like have anything OP, I just think like, I don't know, man. She's just been really fun for me. So she's one that I'm actually looking forward to farming. Wisp is, Wisp got the ass, as the kids are saying. She's that's not what the kids are saying at all. But she does have assets. You know what I mean? I personally don't care about that. I do think it's funny that the original one is bald. The original, I don't even think I have the OG Wisp. I only have Wisp Prime. Obviously, her like her buffs are very cool. Her buffs are actually kind of cool though, because sometimes with like there's a it's a damage buff. Hers, man, that oh man, that increase in fire rate always feels so good. No, like even if you're not playing as Wisp, you know what I mean? And her 4 is just funny to me, It's not as cool as Corvex's 4, even though she can move around while she's using it and it's channeled so she can continuously use it. But I don't know. Wukong is S tier. I don't care what anybody has to say. I knew before I ever played Wukong ever that he was going to be my favorite. Wukong is one of my favorite. I don't know if you know this. I'm a huge fan of Wukong and, Dragon Ball. I'm a big fan of Goku. I don't know if you know anything in relation to the Monkey King or Goku and where his little backstory might have come from, the inspiration. But look into Wukong. His little journey. There's a book. Look up Wukong's journey. You'll piece it together. But Wukong is just, I don't know, man. He's impossible to kill. He has the big staff. He has a clone that has insane accuracy. And he's Wukong, man. He's the monkey, man. Of course he's S tier, along with Zaku. There's going to be a lot of S tiers towards the end here. Zaku is, oh man. I'm glad I eventually just did the farm for him. They're they, I think. I think Zaku is a they. But yoinking people's guns, pressing 4 so that cooldown, or, that never runs out of duration, and then just letting the guns kill the people that you stole the guns from is hilarious to me. And do I need to even say more? Ureli is A, and she could be S if her 2 worked better in smaller maps. The idea of riding around on a skateboard like a little K drive is potentially cool. The K drive itself is a little too wonky, you know what I mean, to make it super cool. If we just gave a little bit better handling, Ureli would be like S tier, man. I think she's kind of underrated on coolness levels, you know what I mean? That built-in K drive on maps is kind of fun. Plus, you can grind on stuff and earn like standing with the vent kids just playing her, which is funny. Zephyr is kind of here to me. I know that this is gonna piss people off because they're OP, but like no A tier, because the 4 mixed with that whatever I think I just need to play more. I think A is probably where it's gonna sit. I think it's just one of those OP Warframes that people always put up in S tier because it's super easy to get and you can do most content with it. But Citron, I have Citron now. The problem with Citron is not enough experience. Like I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm not just playing Citron like on the circuit or something. Like I'm actually playing a Citron that I'm putting my own mods on. So I'm not at the level where I can decide the coolness level. I will say, I love the way that she is designed. Looks super cool. That in itself is almost an A. Kalervo is an S. Kalervo is so fun to me. Just whacking people, man. There's just something building up overguard that's not really that useful, but building up overguard and then just smacking people, building up combo. I don't know, man. Genuinely a melee warframe that's pretty good. Very fun to me. I think Kalervo is kind of underrated too, as far as like how OP he is. You know what I'm saying? Dagath. Man, he's got a lot of S tiers here, man. But Dagath is cool as shit, dude. And not too hard to unlock. You build that, or maybe if you have a clan that has the room, or maybe you just build it in your dojo. Once you build that, you get the parts, and then you go to the Abyssal Zone, and that's where you farm most of the stuff you need for Dagath. There's like a very honed in specific farm, so it wasn't annoying for me. I just had to do it. And I don't know, man. I like this frame a lot. I thought this frame was pretty fucking cool. Now I need to play more of them, but like since I've been trying to get a little mastery rank going, we haven't been playing some of our classic frames that we enjoy playing a lot. That being said, Corvix is also S tier. There's something so rewarding about pressing his 4. It's not super mega powerful, but it feels like it is. And also his 2 is very funny. The walls, his 1 is honestly a better defense than Frost Snow Globe, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not really, because Frost Snow Globe can actually really block damage, and his can't. But you can plop those down, hit your 4 to attack those, and it spreads the damage. And his 4 does a lot of damage when you're aiming into groups of enemies rather than just one person. But I always find it funny to play a disruption mission, and whenever the demolisher comes up or whatever they're called, I just solo 4 on them, and it usually does enough. You know what I mean? And it's very funny. It's overkill 100% as far as like use it for a crowd of enemies instead of a single person, but it's always just very rewarding to do that. Anyways, that's the cool level. About halfway through recording this, I had to use the bathroom, and we're 35 minutes in. So as you can imagine, I'm going to die right now.